Welcome back
Welcome.
to another video.
Yes. Tonight we're going to talk about some reasons why people get divorced. We're just going to give you guys our opinion, just to help out a little bit.
Yeah.
So, hope you enjoy this. Again, we want to thank you all before we get started. We wanted to thank you all for subscribing.
Yes.
We really, really appreciate it.
And for continuing to follow us, to watch all of our videos and stuff like that. Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
What were you like that said?
Huh?
So, our first topic we're going to talk about is going to be weak spiritual foundation. I don't know if you guys heard that. Weak spiritual foundation. That's the first topic on our divorce conversation tonight. Oftentimes, people try to do God's work, like we said earlier before. People try to do God's work, but only God knows your deepest desire.
Yes. Only God knows that He can build up your can meet your deepest desire. And we talk about it in some of the videos we did in the past, and that is very important. If you have a weaker foundation in your marriage, there's a chance it may not last. One of you have to be the prayerful person. In this case, it's me. Thank you. Yeah. But anyway, she's already getting there now. She's praying sometime, and yeah. But anyways,
this is Bash Marina night. Let's just say that.
Yes. But the weak spiritual foundation is our number one thing of the most reason people get divorced.
Yep. Because they don't have that spiritual connection with God. They try to do God's work, and then things doesn't work out the way that they set it out to be, and then they try to find fault in one another.
Right.
And everything falls apart after that.
And we talk about it, putting God first. Once you put Him first, everything else will fall in place.
Yeah.
All right. So number 2 would be different goals. When you two have different goals, first of all, you need to talk about it when you guys meet, even in the dating process. Before that even leads to marriage, you got to talk about your goals and aspiration of things you want to do, with or without you guys having the kids, or even when you do have a kid, some things that you would like to accomplish or do.
Yep. You have to set a goal before you guys get married, because oftentimes if you don't set a goal and you guys get married, you guys get into your married life and work and school and whatever that you guys are doing, that you find yourself putting your goals aside. He put his goals aside and I put mine aside, and then you put it aside, and then after a while you start to resist that person, because then because that wasn't set up from the beginning of your relationship. So you have to set up a goal. Try to meet those goals when you guys meet. Try to put that forward. So if he need help getting somewhere, I should be there to help him. And if I need help, vice versa, he should be there to help me as well. So we should put those goals into our relationship and make sure we are on the same page with that.
And to just add on to that, just like before, when I met my wife, we talk about it. She she was into doing the modeling stuff to be a model. So even when we had the first, our oldest son, and then the second, I help her, to reach that goal. And We was going running together, doing exercise together. I was just supporting her, making sure that she reached her goal, even though not because of the kids, then that would change everything. No.
Right.
So the third one would be miscommunication.
Yep. It's very, very important.
Miscommunication. Yep.
Just because you guys live together doesn't mean that you guys are communicating with each other. So you have to realize that you have to find a better way to communicate. You Because we're living together doesn't mean we're communicating. He may be thinking that, something that he told me about, I may not have understood it the way he told me about it. So you have to have that communication. You have to have that conversation. Sometimes it can be the difficult conversations, but you guys have to talk about those things so you guys don't be misunderstood.
Yes. And in that way, you have to try to communicate in love. In a way, communicate in a way that you it's a loving. Let me rephrase this. Communicate in a loving way. There's many ways you can do that. You can compliment your wife or your husband. You look beautiful today. Your hair look nice, and bring flowers if your spouse like flowers. Um, anything that will help. With that communication, and don't be afraid to talk and express yourself. Hey, this is how I feel, and I hope we can work on it. And you just have to try to communicate in any way.
Yeah.
Because being part of communication, the body language and all of those things too, slamming the door, that's part of communication. And the person can look at it in a different way. They can interpret it in a different way.
Yeah. So it's very important to have that conversation, communicate with your partner, so you guys don't end up in that position, in that divorce range.
Yeah. So that's it. Miscommunication. That was our third one. The fourth one is a lack of appreciation.
Yeah, it's true.
Lack of appreciation. So like we most of the time take life for granted, as we sometimes we do it um um we do it unaware. We don't know, how am I trying to put this? Sometimes we do it without knowing that we're doing it, and sometimes we do it. Some people do it just to do it.
Yeah, because oftentimes you get too busy in your daily activities and you forget that that person is there, that that person needs to feel appreciated for what other person have been doing. It's whether it's working, he goes to work, 7 days a week. It's whether it's that, whether I'm home taking care of the children, you still want to feel appreciated at the end of the day, like your partner understands you and appreciate what you bring to the table. So appreciation is very, very important in a marriage. You cannot put that aside. You have to know that that is important to that person and try to work on that.
Yes. Like sometimes um I didn't know my wife until she told me that. I used to do it, but
Really?
like sometimes, when she cooking or when she doing something, I come home and see the home looking nice and the kids have already taken the shower, all of these things, and food is ready. When she's warming my food or whatever, come from the back and just hug your spot, kiss her on the cheek, do some of those things then. And that would really touch the person. I know it did. It touched my wife. And she told me in our secret place, which is in the bedroom. No, but to put her joke aside, she really expressed herself and told me that she appreciate those kind of little small gesture. They don't have to be something big.
Yeah, tell them. It can even be telling them you love them.
Yeah.
You know, calling them on the phone, even when you are at work, just call them on the phone and say, I'm thinking about you today. You know, just simple things like that. Show that person, make sure you get that involved. Show that person that they appreciate it. Show them that appreciation.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to cut you off. But speaking of that, it came a time when I work, people used to ask me, "Man, you talk to your wife like over 4, 5 times a day, and don't you didn't you just came from home?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did, but we just we
Yeah.
go back to communication. She's letting me know what she's doing, and I'm letting her know how my day is so far. But yeah, just it's appreciating.
Yeah.
So our fifth one would be selfishness. Mm.
Yeah.
Selfishness. Where you gotta try to let go of your ego. When you guys have disagreement or argument, whatever you want to call it, it don't matter who comes to apologize, who are the first person to apologize. Just to you want to see peace in your home. You don't want all the time to just be having because if especially if you have kids, the kids, trust me, they know, they are watching, they see the difference when you guys are not happy.
Yeah. Selfishness can also mean that, you know, don't put this. I shouldn't, like, I'm gonna use myself for example. Sometimes, oftentimes, people focus on their husband or their wife's needs and forget about their needs as well. And you know, they forget about their needs and the things they want to do, and sometimes the other spouse sees that the person is not getting their needs, but because they still want their needs achieved, they're being selfish and still, and forget about that person, and even though they know that they're being selfish, but they just choose to do it anyways. That is selfishness. That is selfishness in a marriage, and that is so hard to come back from. You guys need to talk about that. All you just gotta keep doing is communicating your needs to that person. Just communicate, communicate, communicate. That's all you can do at this point, because there's nothing really you can do but express yourself, and hope that the person gets it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, she said it all. um our sixth reason why most people get divorced is coming from a broken home. you know Coming from a broken home is the sixth reason.
Yeah.
You want to.
Yeah, because a lot of times when we all started somewhere, we all grew up, watch our parents' marriage, and oftentimes if you come from a broken home, you all you see is what happened with your parents' marriage. So because of that, you're afraid to even get into marriage. And because you're afraid to get into marriage, you feel like you're not good enough to do that. And most time when you get into marriage like that, with you being afraid, it oftentimes you end up failing. You feel at it because it's not something that you see, it's not something that you're good at, you something now that you just going along.
Right. And you got more to say.
No, go ahead.
And with to add on that, um, coming from a broken home, like also that can means like the other person, your significant your spouse, can also put that wall up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
let's say in their when they were growing up, the mother and the father separated, and that affected them. So they can put that walls up. So it'll be hard to break.
Yeah, to be
You
like, I'm
know,
not gonna let anybody treat
anybody
me that
treat me,
way.
yeah, the way
They're
I
more
saw.
fearful. Let's just put
Mm-hmm.
it that way. You're more fearful of marriage
Mm-hmm.
because it's something that you've seen and you're afraid to get into. So because of that, most people don't try, or they end up getting a divorce over stuff like that because they never communicated their needs, they never talked to their partner about that, being fearful and stuff like that, and then it end up looking, bad, and you people end up getting divorced over that. So we thought we share that.
Yeah. And our last one would be neglect.
Yeah.
Neglect. Neglect is like when you neglect most of the things, like some of the most important issues that you and your wife have to talk about or was brought up in the previous conversation, and then you just
You
neglect it.
brush it
You
off. Yep.
brush it off like like it's just gonna work itself out. Not all the time that happens.
Mm-hmm.
You guys gotta talk about it, to try to reason and see how best you can fix it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, neglect is very important because that person, again, neglect go back to unappreciation, because if you don't appreciate that person, doesn't matter what that person is doing, you're not gonna see the good in that person, because it's something that you already don't care about anyways. You like, I don't care about this anyways, and because of that, you build that hard guard, and you can't move past whatever good the person is doing anymore. It's very important. Do not neglect your partner. Talk about stuff so it doesn't get that far.
Yes, and so that also means to with the sex. You cannot neglect the sex. That's my thing.
What's sex got to do with this one?
I mean, yes, it got a lot to do with it. That's part of marriage too. Sex got it played a major role in the marriage. But yeah, you cannot neglect it. All the time you just putting it off. Hey, okay, I'm tired. I'm that.
Is there something you wanted to tell you? No, I don't know. Maybe it's something else you wanted to talk about. So, is that something else you wanted to say?
No, I just wanted to just slide that in. Slide it in. You
Okay.
get what I'm saying? Slide it in.
Slide it in.
Yes.
I just got it now. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, just be mindful, guys, of all of these things. Those are also like you can look at it as a warning also, but those are the main reason most people get divorced.
Yep, it's some of the most.
Some of them because there's so many. But just be mindful of those things then, and try to come up with a plan.
Yeah.
To work with these things. We are not perfect. No one is perfect, and no marriage is perfect.
Yep.
But you just gotta work with your spouse, work with your partner to get it right, and by doing that also put God in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And He will show you the way out. So now
with that being said, guys, we did this channel because we know, especially this conversation, because we wanted to shine some light into that conversation. This is something that oftentimes people don't talk about, so we wanted to talk about this. So if you are the kind of person, if you are in this situation and you facing divorce right now, or you facing separation, do not be proud, you know to go back to your partner and tell them that you're sorry and try to work things up. Do not put pride in the way. Try to work through it. Do not let your marriage for so many years fall apart just because of something that you could have easily talked about, that you could have worked out. So please go to your partner, work it out, talk about it. Divorce is not the option.
Yeah, and don't get her wrong what she's saying. We're not trying to advise you if you are in an abusive relationship to stay in it. No, that's not what she's saying.
No,
that is
no
totally
way.
different.
I am not
When
saying
when
that
you
at
are in
all.
an abusive relationship,
Yeah.
for our advice, the best way is
Get out.
get out.
But if you think it's if it's a relationship that you see it's been working for so many years and you've been happy in it, but it just those few conversations that you feel like could have been had, but and you guys haven't had the opportunity to talk about it, This is what I'm talking about. Go back to your partner. Don't get a divorce over that. Don't, talk about it, work it out, and try to see the light in the situation.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for you guys tonight.
There was more on the list, but those are the ones we pick. And yeah, look at the eyes she's giving me now. What would you call that now?
I don't know how to call that because
that's part of miscommunication. You know that eye.
Whatever. That's all the time we have for you guys tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We will see you back here next time. And thank you so much for all of you that have subscribed already. We appreciate it.
Very much.
We see you guys. We appreciate you. We didn't want not to say anything. We wanted to let you know that we see it. We know it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And please like and subscribe, share it. And we'll see you guys next time on the Warner family. Good night.
Stay safe. Good
yep.
night.
Good night.